What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sammie Vee Sessions. We have a lot of music to get through this week, but before we do that, my YouTube Shorts, for some reason, the video is being compressed after it gets to a certain amount of views, and it's making me look AI. It's making me look like my face is caked up with makeup or like I'm made out of clay, and I don't know how to stop YouTube Shorts from doing that. So if you come across my shorts and you're like, why does it look like that? I promise I'm not editing it. I'm literally taking the podcast and posting it on shorts, and then whatever YouTube wants to do with it is their business, but I don't know how to stop it. If you know how to stop it, let me know. But on to music. Most importantly, I snagged some Young Miko tickets for the Barclays Center stop, and I'm a little upset. Miko, nena, mi amor, come closer. Because I know you're on the interwebs and I know you look at these videos. I need a meet and greet ticket. I don't appreciate how the Verizon VIP package was the only ones that got, it was the only pre-sale code or whatever that got the ultimate meet and greet package. There were like other VIP packages, but none of them were meet and greet. So I'm on the interwebs and people are like, oh, I got meet and greet tickets. I'm like, how? I didn't see any. And it was only in the Verizon VIP package. So if you can, girl, swing me a meet and greet ticket. I'll pay for it. I got money. I don't even want it for free. Like, be like, yo, here's this code or whatever. Use it on Ticketmaster, whatever it is. I'm going with my husband. So if I do snag a meet and greet ticket, I'll go meet you and then I'll go back and sit with my husband later. But I want to go. I wanted to get the experience.
She's not coming to see me later. She's just going to stay there.
My husband's convinced that I'm just going to stay down on the floor and not come back. No.
She will. Yes, she will.
Come on. So my husband didn't let me. I wanted to go to this concert by myself. I don't know a lot of people that listen to Young Miko or that would come with me to a concert. And it's at Barclays, and I live in Queens, and coming home from Barclays late at night is not a strategic thing to do. So he was like, I'll go with you, which is fine. But if I get the meet and greet tickets, I promise I'll go see Mike Check, and then I'll go back to section 20.
Lies.
I'll do it. Lies. I'm not gonna leave you by yourself up there.
Right.
I'm not gonna leave you by yourself.
Yeah.
So, Miko, if you see this, again, slide me a meet and greet ticket. I wanted to bring the experience to my podcast. I wanted to come back and be like, hey, I got to meet Miko. This was my experience. I got to go to the sound check. I got to sit in the front of everybody. I got to meet other people. I wanted to bring that experience to the podcast, but unfortunately, I don't have Verizon, mamita. I got T-Mobile. So we did not get those ultimate meet and greet packages. Somebody on TikTok had to put me on to where to get them because everybody else was getting them. And I'm like, how did you do this? So, yeah, that's that. I did get to see Young Miko in 2024 when she was at the MSG Theater. So it's Madison Square Garden, but it's like a little theater on the side. It's not actually MSG. But to see her doing Barclays, I was so excited. And this Barclays show, the New York City show, is the last show on the tour. So I know she's going to bring it. I know she's going to kill it. I'm so excited to see her. I've been listening to her nonstop. It's probably going to be the same way again until November. I have to wait until November. I got to see everybody else's videos until November. But whatever. It's the first weekend of Coachella. And I've never been a festival girly. I've never been to EDC. I've never been to Ultra. I've never been to any of these things. I don't like crowds. I also don't like heat. So I can't imagine that I would enjoy Coachella. And a lot of influencers are getting heat right now for the brands that they're going with to Coachella. And it's a hot mess for influencers right now. I am enjoying all of the quote unquote normal people. They're all making like normal girl TikToks outfits for the days at Coachella. I'm enjoying watching it. I'm enjoying watching the performers and everything like that, but I don't think that standing in the middle of the hot desert with a bunch of people and no bathrooms nearby is my thing. Now, if I ever get invited to Coachella, letting y'all know right now, putting it out there, brand deals and all that, I better have a suite with some AC and a TV nearby or backstage passes, something, because I cannot be in a sea of people. That is not my form of enjoyment. We have Karol G, the first Latina to headline Coachella this weekend. So I'm recording this on Sunday. She performs at 9:55 in California, 9:55 p.m. That's like 1 a.m. here in New York City. I'll be in my ninth dream at that point, so I'll be watching it during the week. I wanted to bring it to the podcast. I was hoping that she performed before I recorded, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to be dead asleep. Karol G's been on a press tour for sure. She just stopped by Call Her Daddy. And was influenced by Alex Cooper. And I really enjoyed that podcast and some things that I wanted to bring up. She talks about how she got her first contract and how her dad ended up having to buy her out of that contract because it seemed like the males in the industry were taking advantage of her and making her do things that she didn't want to do, right? She didn't really go into detail, but this is what we can assume from what she was saying. If you haven't watched the podcast, please go watch it. It's a good podcast. She was so excited to be there. I really feel like Karol G is just a very sweet human being. And she says like sometimes she's too nice. And there are times that she loses herself in relationships, and I'll get more into that. But Alex had asked her, what do you say to the people that have disrespected you in the past and didn't respect you or respect your boundaries? And she said, my work speaks for itself. And for somebody that went to the Mañana Será Bonito tour, 1,000% her work speaks for all of the people that have hurt her in her past. Like, she don't even have to clap back at anybody or get revenge on anybody. This woman is just amazing, and I'm so happy that she's gotten this Coachella headlining and that she's the first Latina to do so. I said that she's learning how to like not lose herself in relationships. We all know that she just broke up with Fade. Did I say it in my previous episode? I don't know if I said it in my previous episode, but she made it clear that she's the one that left that relationship, and she's proud of herself for realizing that that's not what she wanted. So she talks in the podcast with Alex how she's trying not to lose herself in relationships. She says she's done it a lot, and she says she's learning boundaries for herself and saying like, this is my life and I'm not going to change it for you and whatever you want to do. She said that she's got a tattoo on her arm of Selena Quintanilla, Rihanna, and her. And she said those are the three most influential people in her life. And Selena being an influence in her life is such a Latina experience. I feel like all of us have had the Selena influence, and it's nostalgic for me, especially because she was big and had passed away like when I was very young. But my whole life I knew who she was because the people older than me always brought her up, and she was such a force to be reckoned with, and I can only imagine the things she would have done with her career if she was still here. But she said also Rihanna's a big influence for her, and she got to meet Rihanna at Rihanna's Super Bowl. And she said that she was shaking and she was so excited to meet. She was basically fangirling in front of Rihanna, and she said that Rihanna had given her like pieces of advice, and she didn't share what kind of advice it was. I think meeting Rihanna was very sacred to her. And I think whatever happened during that conversation is going to be kept between Karol G and Rihanna. But it was sweet to see that even our favorite artists have artists that they admire and adore and are inspired by. They got into this new album, Tropico Quieta. Tropico Quieta was created while she was on tour for Mañana Será Bonito. So that made a lot of sense when she was doing all these Latino country stops, how Tropico Quieta came about and has a whole bunch of different musical Latino influences. So you have different kinds of Latino music in that album. I like that album. I don't think it did as big as Mañana Será Bonito. I don't think a lot of people listened to it. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping it gets a revive now that she's performing it at Coachella this year. But what she did say about Mañana Será Bonito is that that album was driven by heartbreak. And she said that heartbreak music is her best music that she makes, and she said you better get ready because I'm coming with the hits. I'm coming with the bangers. And honestly, I think a lot of artists feel that way. I feel like when you have such intense emotions, your work that goes into it is going to be a lot better. Because like, who likes music that's just like, I'm happy, enjoying life? We all love a good heartbreak song. So that makes a lot of sense of why that did so good. She gets into what kind of men she likes. And this is being clipped all over the place. How she said she likes the bad guys from the neighborhood. and she likes like, I guess you could say fuckboys. Like when she was talking about it, like all I thought about was how she likes fuckboys. And she talks about what she wants, and then she goes back to liking the bad guys. And Alex is like, hello, we're not supposed to like the bad guys. And Karol's like, well, I guess I'm fucked. Like I can't get away from them. Like, girl, if you don't learn your lesson, you're going to keep falling for the same situations. But I think it's super sweet. And I think we've all been in that situation of liking the bad guys and not really liking the person that we should be liking. But she says she's staying single for right now. She's focusing on the relationship with her fans instead of her love life. And she likes where she is right now. So there's a lot of people that are going in on her, especially the Fade fans, and saying how she broke his heart, XYZ, she's not good. Y'all, this is the same internet that was just ragging on Becky G for staying with her man after their trials and tribulations. Now Karol G is like, actually, I don't want this. I'm leaving. I would think that the same internet would be supporting her. Be like, yeah, girl, like you go do whatever you want to do. Nope. Y'all are ragging on her just as bad. So it's like, you don't want women to stay in the relationship that they're not happy in. And then you don't want women to leave either. What do you want? What do you want? She wasn't happy. It's not what she wanted. Maybe their goals didn't align. I don't know. She doesn't go into detail, but she just says that she recognizes that she didn't want to be there and she left. And there's power behind that. Like, girl, do you? She also said that like the universe keeps telling her, not yet, not yet, not yet. So she's going to listen to it. But, you know, whatever. She's at the top of her career right now. I think Karol G is 35. Is she 35? She's 35 at the peak of her career. Let her live. So all in all, and this might cause some controversy again, might get some hate comments again. I think Alex Cooper did an amazing job with this interview. I think Alex Cooper is very deserving of this opportunity to be interviewing Karol G and the Coachella weekend, like all the things that she's doing with Coachella. Karol G even thanks her at the end of the interview. I'm sure this will break Karol G a little bit into more of the American media culture with Alex interviewing her. However, I would have enjoyed this podcast a lot more if she was being interviewed by a Latina. Coachella missed the mark there, not having a Latina podcaster, even a bilingual podcaster, to do this interview, especially being that Karol G is the first Latina to headline Coachella. Y'all really could have ran with that same theme and had a Latina podcaster interview her. And I think it would have been a very good podcast if it was like Spanglish, because you could tell at some points that Karol G was kind of nervous. Maybe like if she could have said some things in Spanish that the podcaster or the host would have understood, maybe it would have been a little less awkward. But am I referencing myself? Absolutely. Should I have done this interview? 1,000%. I think a lot more people would have enjoyed it. But like I said, Alex did a great job. I really love this interview. If you have not watched it, go watch it. And then one day, maybe I'll be interviewing the Coachella people, because Karol G said you got to believe in yourself. Karol G's got a tattoo of herself, and she says she's her biggest inspiration. So I'm taking a page out of Karol's book, and I'm taking that with me. Yeah. But on the topic of Karol G, along with this podcast coming out this week, Playboy dropped the the sneak peeks for their spring issue, and Karol G is the cover girl of Playboy, y'all. That's hitting newsstands, I think, at the end of April. So it was only available like this, whatever was available on the website for that article. I did read it. I didn't just take the clips that everybody's clipping and resharing and doing the same thing. You know, honestly, with this podcast, whenever I bring you guys information, I really want you to know that I'm actually reading this stuff. I'm not on TikTok taking the latest clips and then just bringing it. Like the whole podcast I watched, I read whatever was available on Playboy, because I'm not subscribing to Playboy. That's not something I'm doing. So whatever was available on there, it was a really good article. So the next time somebody's like, yeah, Playboy has good articles, it's good writing, you should believe them. But the magazine releases April 30th. I'm thinking about buying it. I will go be buying this and keeping it in my house. But there was a lot more in here. She does talk about her past relationship because that's just like a hot topic. But the first question that the article talks about is posing for Playboy. The article is written by Paola Ramos, and she said that posing for Playboy was entirely her call. She said, why do I want to do this? Because I want to. Because I grew up inspired by how beautiful the women in the magazine looked, and now I have the opportunity to be that beautiful, sexy mamazota. And honestly, given the opportunity, I'd be posing for Playboy too. Ha! Yeah, be catching me on the cover of Playboy, okay? I'm taking this youthfulness that I have and bringing it to Playboy. So I'm so happy that Karol G took on the opportunity. She said the only person she asked if she could do this is Sofia Vergara. I want Sofia Vergara on speed dial so I can ask her my life decisions, okay? And then she responded with, she told Sofia, if you tell me to do it, if you tell me not to do it, I won't. And then Sofia said, mijita, that body, when you get to this age, you tell yourself, fuck, why didn't I pose that one time? I should have posed more with a thong. Just one thing, don't show your pussy. Make sure you bleep that because I don't think YouTube's going to like that. The fact, she said, this moment will have a reason. What's going to be your reason? So I need Sofia Vergara on speed dial. I want to ask her my life decisions. And I just know that she'd be in full support of me doing Playboy one day. Karol G also said she's happy where she is right now. She said, according to my culture, I should have kids by now. But you know what? This year has literally been like, fuck it. I don't feel like I'm behind. I actually feel like it's beautiful that I'm living my process, that I'm evolving, that I'm learning, that I'm not tired of experimenting, that I'm curious. So I think that's great. As somebody who's going to be 31 this year, sometimes you do feel like you could be behind. I always play with the idea of having kids in my head, but I'm not entirely sure on that. And I feel like a lot of people share that sentiment. And watching Karol G living her best life at 35 and not even worried about it makes me feel a little bit better. In the song, there's also like a little video clip that Playboy has that you can watch without subscribing. She dedicates the song Ocean to her fans. She said in the song, I feel great and I feel big because of you. She also says her fans have no idea how much they mean to her and how they've gotten her through some tough personal times. So Karol G loves us, y'all. We got to keep supporting her. And I'm so excited to watch her on this weekend stay. If it comes out Sunday night, maybe I can catch it Monday while I'm working. But this is Sam from the future. I am just about to run out to the gym to go teach my classes, but I wanted to come back and let you guys know that I did watch Karol G's Coachella performance. There was somebody on TikTok that had the first 40 minutes and then I had to piece together the rest of it. So I just want to give you my rundown of it. It made me emotional. It was beautiful. She opened with her narrating a story about a woman finding her voice, and it tied into what she was talking about on the Call Her Daddy podcast about, breaking the norms of a Latina woman, like not being married and not having children, XYZ. I spoke about it before. Very woman-centered. And I love that. Even the dancers, like the dancers in the cave and like dancing on each other and then dancing in that shallow pool, everything was spectacular. She absolutely killed this performance. And if I get a chance, if they put out the entire performance all in one, I think it was like 90 minutes, I'm going to watch it over again. Karol G also said that this festival's been going on for 27 years and it's a little late to have a Latina headliner. This should have happened a long time ago. And I completely agree because that crowd went bonkers. That was the loudest crowd from Coachella videos that I've seen so far. If you've seen louder, let me know what you see, who was performing, like who you saw performing, that the crowd went absolutely nuts because the crowd was impeccable. The people she brought up Mariah Angelique, she brought out Wisin Sin Yandel. And y'all are messy in the comments because y'all said Fade kept Yandel in the divorce. And I don't appreciate that. But I do wonder why Yandel was not there. But she brought out Wisin. She brought out Becky G to perform Mami. Now, Becky G also had something to say, saying, Viva Mexico, Viva Colombia. She gave a shout out to all the immigrants. So she was like, listen, Karol G's going to get in trouble, but I am not going to get in trouble for what I said. And then she said, you heard what I said? Looking directly in the camera. Both of them serving body. Both of them absolutely beautiful up there. And then with them performing Mami, they also had Mariachi Reina de Los Angeles. And that is an all-woman mariachi band. And I absolutely love that idea. They did amazing. She also performed a new single with Cigarettes After Sex. The single is with Cigarettes After Sex. Sorry, y'all. I just had a full cup of coffee. Like I said, I'm about to run out to the gym, but I wanted to bring this to you. Greg Gonzalez is from Cigarettes After Sex. New single. They performed it together. She also did Y Bonita with Arturo Sandoval. So that was everybody she brought out. I already said the crowd was incredible. Then there was one girl. I think from my little research that I did, she's a super fan of Karol G's. But Karol G was walking around near the crowd singing Amargura. And this girl was screaming into the microphone. And Karol G was like, you sing it, girl. You scream it at the top of your lungs. Everybody can hear you at Coachella. And I really love that. I love when Karol G like interacts with her fans. She was 30 minutes late, and Coachella is a very strict cutoff time. She ended with Provenza, specifically the Tiesto's remix. So she ended with a little EDM, for all the EDM lovers out there that might not have liked Karol G at first, but she brought a little bit of everything for everybody. But she was 30 minutes late. She probably had more to perform, but she wrapped it all up in a bow, and it was absolutely incredible. Coachella, take notes. You need to have more Latina artists performing. But back to the podcast. More Coachella, because that's just all we're talking about this weekend. Disclosure performed at Coachella this weekend. They teased the entire crowd by playing the da-da beginning of Latch. I can't play anything. Last week I got copyright hit because I played a song, so we won't be playing songs anymore. You'll be getting my melodies, and if you don't like it, you're going to have to look up the song yourself. But they teased the crowd. The crowd went absolutely nuts, and I just want to talk about that album. So Latch is from the album Settle. That's from 2013. Do you know what else that one album has? Did we just have an earthquake, or did Rich just shake the camera? You can keep it in there. Whatever. It's all right. It happens. So their one album, Settle, has Latch. You know what else this album has? When a Fire Starts to Burn, White Noise, You and Me, Help Me Lose My Mind. Okay? This is a great album. Probably a no skips. I can't even think of what else is on this album, but that is such a good album. And don't even get me started on Karol. Okay? That is also, I probably fucked up the thing of that. The one with the Wildcat on it. That album has Nocturnal, Omen, Magnets. It has so many good... Disclosure makes such good music. And I was looking at their TikTok. They only have like 200-something thousand followers on TikTok. Like maybe they're going to make a comeback this year that they're performing at Coachella. But I would love to see Disclosure in person. Another big person at Coachella this weekend was Justin Bieber. Me and Rich have some differing thoughts on this, so...
Different.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
All right.
Some people were saying that his performance was boring. I completely disagree. Y'all were kicking it with Justin Bieber in a basement somewhere watching some YouTube videos. That's what this performance was. It was such an intimate performance, and I feel like people missed that. He was performing. Some people said he wasn't performing. He was performing. He was singing. He was harmonizing with his younger self on these videos. He was playing YouTube. If you haven't seen it, he was playing YouTube videos and bringing up all these YouTube videos of when he was younger. And then what song did he sing that I really like? Oh, That Should Be Me. He plays that song. He sings it as like the YouTube, the computer is projected on screen behind him. So as soon as he's trying to find the next song, like as he's typing, the crowd is going crazy. I think it was a very intimate performance. I think he looked so happy. He's like, these are my people. Like they get me. We're having such a good time. Like it's an interactive experience. But go ahead, Rich. What was your idea?
I agree with you. What I'm trying to say, I can see how people can get mad about paying so much money for a Coachella ticket to just watch YouTube videos with a celebrity. But like I said, I agree with you because he actually performed in those songs and everything. It was very intimate. So yeah, that's my take.
Right. So Rich can see how people might have been upset with like the kind of performance that it was, especially because it was Coachella. But I think it was funny. He played the Got Him video. He also played videos, like embarrassing videos of himself, like of him walking into a door, him falling on stage. That one time he was standing on business with paparazzi. But I think it was great. We knew that he was going to play older songs because somebody who lives nearby where Coachella plays was listening to his like his stage rehearsal, and they heard him singing his older songs. So we knew he was gonna do a little bit of a eras kind of thing. But I really like the performance. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch that. All right. Benito. We haven't done a Where in the World is Benito because he's not going back on tour until like, I think May. I think he took April off. But the Spotify video for his Tokyo show dropped. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go watch that. But we're going to talk about it now. If you don't want to talk about it, skip ahead. But I don't know if it's played in order or if it's edited. It was really short. It was only 45 minutes. So I think there might have been more songs that they did. But it was his Billions live show. So all of the songs that he played there was in the billions or more streams. It opens with a Japanese person saying "Acho per es otra cosa." He plays "Eo," he plays "Efecto," "Titi me preguntó," and then he gets to "Yonaguni." The crowd did not disappoint, okay? They were so hyped that he was singing that song, and it was so good. People were screaming the lyrics. You could hear it. He's passing like the mic stand around to everybody and singing. It was such a good experience. And then within this, it's kind of like a mini documentary too. With the performances, there's like little breaks where he's talking to the camera and it's like a little interview. There's a video of him. If you've ever seen the video for Yonaguni, it's like an anime character of him walking through cherry blossoms, and they do the same thing with like him in real life walking through cherry blossoms and like looking around like, oh my God, I made it. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually his first time in Japan too. Either first time in Japan or first time performing, but he talks about how he's so grateful to be there and he never thought like this would happen, and like so many crazy things have happened in his career, and you could tell he was so grateful to be performing in Japan with all of these fans there. Now, all of you non-Japanese people, I'd like to know how you snuck in there because they got you on camera. I said, I don't know about this. How'd y'all get in there? Who invited you? Because not everybody in here looks Japanese, okay? There were a couple of famous people too. I saw Lisa in there. But yeah, it was really good. If you have 45 minutes or even if you're cleaning, throw it on. It was a good little documentary. There were so many times that he said like, muchas gracias, thank you, and arigato gozaimasu. And I thought it was really sweet that he was doing all three. He even said like, I don't know how to speak to you in English, Japanese, or Spanish. And he was kind of doing all three the entire show, but they were getting it. They were loving it. In that performance, he also does the salsa version of Mia. Mia is the song he did with Drake. They didn't play Drake's part, but it was really good to watch. Before he does Debí tirar más fotos and closes out the show, he takes a moment to introduce his whole band, and they all get a spotlight to play their instruments, and I thought that was really cool. He does that during the concerts as well, and I think it's a great idea because they're such a big part of the show to give them a moment and introduce them. I love how he shares the stage with them. And before he finishes Debí tirar más fotos, he tells everybody to put their phone away and put their hands up. And I was like, oh my God, everybody listened to him. Nobody had their phone out. Everybody had their hands up. And it was so cool to watch. I wish I would have been able to be there, but maybe next time Benito will send me an invitation. I do want to mention that even if there were more songs played on this documentary, there's 3 songs from Debí tirar más fotos. And I want to remind you guys that album is not even 2 years old. I don't even think it's a year and a half old. It's a year and like 3 months old. And that album has 3 songs, at least 3 songs that are already in the billions of streams. If you're still going to tell me that album does not deserve Grammy Album of the Year, you're insane. I need you to rethink that whole thing. I need you to study a little bit more. But that's going to go down as one of my favorite albums of all time. I have the vinyl and I'm going to keep it forever. But go watch the Tokyo Experience on Spotify if you have not yet. All right, guys. Time for Song of the Week. I think we've hit so many genres in this podcast today. We're about to hit hip hop now. Song of the Week is Holiday Inn by Chingy, Ludacris, and Snoop Dogg. Okay? This song came out August 25th, 2003. If you've never heard this song before, I need you to go and listen to this song and watch the music video. If you're like, Sam, why is there a 2003 song as Song of the Week? Because I'm minding my business, scrolling on TikTok, and who shows up on my TikTok feed? Chingy. I said, oh my goodness. First of all, this man does not age. He looks the same exact way he does from that music video. And he gets into the tea of how this song came about and how the music video came about. And I thought it was interesting, so I'm going to bring it to you. If you haven't seen it, go look Chingy up on TikTok. But he says in the video, in the TikTok video, he's walking. He's just walking. I guess he's going for a walk and he decided to do a TikTok video. But then at the end of the video, he's walking backwards. I just want to say shout out Chingy for working on your posterior chain. Okay. As a fitness instructor, I really like that you were walking uphill backwards after walking downhill. Whatever. Just a little side note. So he says he was with his producer, Sham, and a girl that he was talking to. So when you listen to the song and the girl said, what you doing? He goes, nothing, chilling at the Holiday Inn. Who you with? That was a girl that he was talking to. Girl, where you at in life right now? Are you getting proceeds off of that song? Are you getting like stream royalties? I need to know. But he was with Sham, a girl he was talking to, and Sham was on the drums. Zoe was on the keys. So I guess these are like his producers. This was before, he said this is before the deal. So I'm guessing this is before his record deal, that they were just chilling making this song. And then the deal comes and he wants Luda and Snoop on the record, and they both agree and they both get on there. He said the video was filled with artists. Dog Pound, Snoop, DJ Quick, Too Short, they were all there. And then he lets a little T-slip. I don't know if he was allowed to do this, but I'm going to tell y'all. He said Suge showed up. Suge Knight showed up. And he said, I was cool with Suge. Suge could have came in, but they didn't let him in because he was looking for Snoop. So it was a little T on the music video. Suge showed up and said, I'm trying to come through looking for Snoop. But anyway, then I wanted to also mention that was such an iconic song of our time. I wanted to see what awards that won. It didn't win any awards. It was only nominated for the 2004 MTV Music Video Awards. It was nominated for Best Hip Hop Video, but it lost to Outkast's Hey Ya. Another great song, but make sure you go listen to Holiday Inn. Make sure you go look Chingy up on TikTok. I swear he still looks the same as he did in 2003. That's all I have for you guys this week. You guys have a lot of homework to do. I talked about the docuseries, podcasts, interviews. You got reading to catch up on. Please, please, please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, on Spotify. I also have a TikTok page and an Instagram for the podcast. I have a TikTok and an Instagram. Reach out to me. I want to talk to you guys. I love talking to you guys. But that's it for this week. Take care of yourself and each other.